You two might have to update Fantasy Grounds, by the way.
Oh, Fantasy Grounds is the thing with you.
Yeah, it's the thing you forget, like, every week.
What do I forget every week?
Fantastic Grounds.
Oh, right! Fantasy Grounds. I'm going to update it. I can't believe I haven't listened to Living Tombstone's remix of Spooky Scary Skeletons yet, and it's
So far.
Yeah, it's already the 20th of October, and I haven't listened to it yet.
I mean, I personally listened to it throughout the year, but
I don't think I've heard that one.
I would like to, but it doesn't feel special that way. I can link it.
The most played Living Tombstone song on my playlist is the Dog of Wisdom.
For the end of the wood.
Dog of Wisdom's also great.
Yeah?
For some reason, the original song doesn't seem to be on his YouTube list anymore.
Aw.
There you go.
Spook.
This is my favorite remix of this song.
It's super catchy.
Yes, absolutely.
I hear xylophones. What's that all about?
So as soon as the song ended, this one played next. And I'm not upset, because I could honestly listen to this song anytime, for any length of time.
All
Mine are
right.
back. It
You what?
breaking. And broke my back. Snapped right in half.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Rosalin, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons.
We're finally back.
Did we take a
Hey,
break?
Delva,
Yeah,
I have a very important question.
that's a question.
How much EXP are you worth for breaking your back?
As a CR0, so like, I don't know, 5. I can't imagine a spine is much stronger than an entire skeleton, so...
But also take into consideration that the world ends with you.
It's true. Very true.
It's also a very good game.
I appreciate that. Let's get on started then. Last time, you guys finally arrived in Misty Mound, Dusty's hometown. Maybe not one of pleasant memories, but it's where he came from. And after walking past the actively burning ruins of the previous Batfolk settlement, you've made your way into the ravaged monastery that lies within the foothills of these Keshek Mountains. Sorry, Baeshk Mountains. I read that wrong. But finding startlingly little resistance as you made your way through. Seeing a few signs of struggle, but very few bodies. And all of a sudden, you were beset upon by a large creature, a gigantic, almost crystalline worm, which I have lost the picture for. That's real cool. I'll find it eventually. Just
Ice
to
and fire.
It was made of ice, and it was fire. I think it had that. I'll find it later. But anyways, in a grueling and almost deadly battle, you managed to kill the dang thing. And as its insides slowly start to cool, after you fished Rosalin out of its burning, almost incinerator-like insides, Zerth, you had felt yourself full of divine energy from which you weren't really familiar. It wasn't from the Fury, that's for sure. But Rosalin, I believe at this point you have been coaxed back up, as you did indeed help to break yourself out of its gut.
Yeah, we'd already been past that.
Yeah, and then we fought it a second time,
Oh yeah, you did fight it a second time.
and you guys thought I died.
Yep. Yark, for all your guys' knowledge, just got reduced into a red goopy pulp after being just smashed in its jaws. But as he starts to reform, you realize
We'd been past that bit as well. What's his face literally walked past us.
He's
I'm
recapping.
exactly. We're getting my memory. We're getting all of your memories going again. And as you walked further, recovering from this fight, and Yark in one piece now, you have felt almost a wave of elasticity pass through the mountain, as if everything, including the ground beneath your feet, was shifted back a few feet, then kind of rubber banded forward back to its previous position. And a few minutes later, calmly strolling out from one of the side tunnels leading deeper, was a very nondescript-looking warforged, clad in the distinctive sharp uniform of Sigma in his personal army. And after a short bit of pleasantries and just sort of well-wishings and oh, how are you? Oh, I think Rosalin was the one to just kind of rip him in two, tear his arm off, and then subsequently, I believe Zerth killed him.
So
Or was it the
what
other way
happened
around?
was Sidil held onto his arm, which came off when I threw my hammer into the back of his skull.
Also,
I
he
got it.
told. Also, he told the group that Dusty was not needed anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I believe that is where we will pick up. As as I think you guys started, or I think Yark started to break him apart for parts. Break him down for parts, rather.
I think Dusty started that, but I joined him.
Okay. You'd managed to get one full Warforged of components into whatever bags of holding that you choose to put it in.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the worm. No, I guess I'll break him down into a bag of holding into Warforged pieces.
Okay.
How many pounds of scrap metal am I adding?
I'd say 95. And that's subtracting the parts of it that weren't really scrappable, as well as the fact that he's a fairly light Warforged, not designed too much for combat. But you guys were aware that it was not, in fact, Sigma, but him kind of using his magic to directly control it and speak to you through it. Anyways, I suppose I should pull up the map for you. That is not maps. That is not maps either. I've done this before, trust me.
You've been hiding your porn in the maps folder again.
I have it somewhere. Blue
Well,
boobies? No, that's not it. Get it? Because a booby is a type of bird.
yes.
Ha.
Yes, you tit.
That's very funny.
What are you again, Dova? A cardinal?
Yeah.
Cardinals are pretty.
Be a while.
Warble. All right. So, there is the map. That's the thing that you guys killed, a Remmerhaus. I forgot what it was called. Can I do mask removing, please? I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. I told my shield not to bite me again.
It's still kind of calming down from that previous fight, since that was pretty rough. You block quite a few blows with it.
Yep. I'm whispering sweet calming nothings to it.
Calming it down, giving it pets.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So many pets.
He would like to
As he's like
unleash his pudding upon this massive carcass, along with taking a piece for himself from the midsection.
Go ahead and... I suppose it's cool enough. Actually, no, it would still be quite warm. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. Else you might burn yourself. All right, I'd say you get a little piece for keepsake's sake, without burning yourself. That is.
I mean, he's putting it back. He's putting it into his mouth.
You're gonna eat it.
Hungry. Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
can't help but think if we were living in a modern society, Dusty would be licking the plug sockets.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You'll take half damage instead. Ooh. All right. You're gonna take 8 points. That would be under wounds. So that would be you'd be up to 70 wounds. So that was 8 points of a mixture of poison and fire damage. As the flesh itself, as it comes in contact with your kind of regular living tongue, it actually almost boils the water off for a brief moment, leaving you with a very sore and numb, burnt tongue. Does not taste too great.
Warmth is warmth.
Zert's gonna cast
Practically
Mass Cure
self-cooked.
Wounds on everybody.
Alright.
And do a clerical thing.
Pudding face.
Can you cast Mass Backhand on the back of your son's head? He's doing stupid things.
Boy, what are you doing?
You can see a little cloud of steam coming out of his mouth. Behold, pudding. Pudding.
I wanted warmth back inside me because I need to keep going.
This actually might not be very good for pudding.
If you just wanted that, you could have asked your father for a fireball point blank.
No, he'd miss.
You're not exactly wrong. She's kind of quiet.
I'm gonna kick Surf in the sheen. The shin.
It's shin.
Yeah, like this is the time for discipline.
He's gonna shake his thoughts off, and dwell with those questions later, and go over to Dusty, and just kind of put a hand on his shoulder. And he's gonna say, there seems to be a calm now. Times like this, you need to take a breath.
Potions. Let's save our other resources and continue.
Don't let rage blind you.
Rosalin whistles in the corner.
Mad.
Hey, I didn't take that class, okay? The subclass of Battle Rager, which literally gives you blind rage.
Pudding. Do you need to change to fire?
You look over at him, and he's been trying his hardest.
Okay,
It's
stop.
like looking at a camel trying to eat a cactus.
Okay.
It's
All
trying
right, back
so
in the-
hard, but you know it hurts.
Back in the flask. I'm changing your element.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure, what you looking for?
Any more danger? Anything else gonna pop out?
Go right ahead.
Oh, it was so
That
close
was
on that
so
20.
close,
Oh
I
my
saw that.
Yeah.
You do in fact hear the distinct skittering of some clawed feet towards the east of you, off in the distance. Can't really tell how far away it is.
Or if it's friend or foe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll mention that to the group. Let's continue onwards. Maybe there'll be more survivors. And he'll, you said to the east?
Mm-hmm. Kind of past that hallway or down that hallway where the little avatar came from as well.
Gotcha. And Zerk will start walking that way, holding his hammer.
All right.
And he'll probably be, if Dusty's not moving, he'll probably pick Dusty up and put him on his shoulder.
All right.
I'm gonna catch my breath and follow.
Zeno will go ahead and follow as well.
You can hear somewhere behind you that Inun has gotten. He has found a small library. And no matter how hard you call for him, he's just gonna stay there and pour into some books. Good shit too. That's at least that's what you can tell based on his little mutterings and such.
Found the treasure trove of knowledge.
Oh yes, yeah. I'll catch up.
You sure you will?
Zerk will just kind of nod to just scream if anything happens.
Oh yeah.
Just waves him off.
Yep. Yeah. Man, you knew exactly what he looked like when he did that too. I bet. What you rolling, Dusty? Dusty, if you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. Oh,
He's just sipping some potions. He does not want to relax.
gotcha. And those are healing potions.
Yep, just low-grade healing potions.
Regular healing potions heal max.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. I say regular. I mean
So,
all
10.
healing potions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zerk would quietly mutter to himself a thanks to whatever helped him out.
All right.
Something along the lines of, I don't know who you are, but I do greatly appreciate the help. If there's anything I can help in repayment, just let me know.
Go ahead and give me a religion check in the tower.
You're a moral soul.
Oh god, he's become a warlock.
Fetch me their souls.
I mean, cleric lock is a viable multi-class.
Really now? I didn't know that.
Clearlock, yeah.
Sherlock. By Shire Lloyd. All right. So, continuing forward. Map, please work with me here.
Why would
Right.
you want the map to work with you and not for you?
Well, just making my life easier and such. Dusty, give me a history check. Dusty? Dusty? If you're trying to
Pardon?
talk, I can't hear you.
No,
Yep,
it
go ahead.
was. I'd been called away for dinner time, so I made an excuse to grab a plate and bring it back with me.
Gotcha. When you can, go ahead and give me a history check.
All right. However, was that energy familiar to Dusty? Because I'm pretty sure. tell where it's from.
Which sort of energy?
What empowered Zerus.
Mm,
After all,
You
the
would-
religious icons were just outside.
it's true. You would not be able to tell. You don't think? But you can give me a religion check in the tower if you like.
All right.
All right. From a decent ways up ahead, you can you hear a small pained gurgle. Maybe 100 or so feet away, in the across the bend, or around the bend rather.
Mm.
For a moment, you think you recognize the voice, Dusty, but then that recognition passes.
I'll round the corner.
All right. Ba-ba. Click. There you go. Jaffer says there isn't any problem with the client, but I think that's just because he's used to Australian internet over a remote connection, which is fair. All right, so towards the left, you can
Sorry,
see
what did
the.
I miss?
Sorry,
What about Australia?
bad
It
internet
sucks.
in Australia.
Okay.
It's just bad in general. It's just
Yeah, honestly. So around the corner to the left, you can see statues and inscriptions along the wall. Various verses of mantras and other just sort of religious monastic writings. Reading it briefly, it just seems to be something that just goes over your head. Even for Dusty, most of these things are things that you've actively avoided reading, since you weren't exactly a fan of this whole place.
it was dull as hell.
Hmm.
Yes, just because I'm receptive to the learnings doesn't mean I care.
And that lack
By
of care
receptive
is
to the learnings, you mean you ate them.
So receptive.
Yeah, you could still be receptive by eating it, and it is you.
It's rock and it's attached to the wall. No amount of biting will fix that.
You eat dragon shards. Dragon shards are literally rocks.
Bite-sized rocks.
it's got a point.
Anyway,
Up ahead, the hallway opens up into a much larger room. This is about. Oops, I was the wrong tool. This was about as far into the temple as you would go, Dusty. A large antechamber leading into the vault door, up in the upper right. Exactly what was in that vault was kept a secret from you. But from the amount of guards kept around it constantly and the amount of high-ranking officials that were led into it almost daily, you figure it was something big.
Well, nothing's sacred anymore. Let's check it out.
Those, feet-thick metal doors that only opened for the most important of visitors now lay on their sides, torn from the hinges. As something bursted out from the inside. You can see giant claw marks dug into the stone. They kind of trail up from that the upper right corner of the room, kind of snaking towards the center in a slow, lazy spiral until they reach the center, and it almost seems as though it started digging a hole, and then just suddenly slipped right through. As
I
looking
guess
at
we
the
know.
hole doesn't reveal any actual empty space. It's almost just like a divot in the stone.
Xerxes is gonna go, just kind of take it all in and go, I guess we know where Sigma came from.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Let's keep going. It was from somewhere around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Xerxes keeping a small eye on Dusty.
His mouth is still steaming, but he is not letting it out.
is greatly appreciated.
The ever-present blood and viscera kind of laid out on the ground, either spilt from fighting or just sort of deliberately left there, increases exponentially in this room. So much so that as you go up towards that corner with the vault door, there's just exponentially more and more blood. At some places, almost pooling in a little puddles of kind of sticky, congealed, in the darkness, almost a very deep maroon shade to your dark vision eyes, rather.
Can I tell how old it is?
You would be able to tell that it's not exactly fresh. Maybe a few days old.
Okay.
Some of it, at least. There seems to be almost layers.
Xerxes is trying to get a time frame of how long it all took.
Mm-hmm.
She's just laughing a little bit. There's nothing left.
Is everybody else following?
Yeah.
I just can't see that side of the map. There we go.
At a safe distance.
Mm-hmm.
Help, I accidentally scrolled too far. I hate this.
I feel it.
Okay, somebody apparently moved DeSoda, and now I can't move him.
He's in a super position. Oh, there it goes.
There you go. Try now.
There we go. DeSoda would be slightly in front of Sinel. You know, a little
Alright.
bit way ahead.
DeSoda seems to be a bit overwhelmed by the smell of the area, and really doesn't seem to be sniffing out scents as much as he normally would be. Dusty, go ahead and give me another history check, because everyone would hear a brief, sort of raspy groan from the room just up ahead, from inside the vault. Something seems familiar about the voice, but you still can't seem to place it. It's just up ahead inside the vault. Is a scene straight out of I guess horror movies don't really exist. Maybe a particularly spooky book. Carnage. Pure carnage. Scrap iron girders and almost wooden frames are just piled up on each other. It kind of reminds you a little bit of the construction of that idol just outside. The idol of Ral Katesh. Hold on. Rak Tulkesh. I was close. Except the actual idol itself, the centerpiece, appears to be missing, and all that's left over is the scaffolding. But almost embedded in one of the scaffolding, amongst the countless other sort of faceless body parts, seems to be most of a batfolk. And as you're starting to make your way in, it's cut ears kind of swivel weakly towards you, noticing that someone is actually coming. For a brief moment, you can see another pair of red reflective eyes off in the back corner, just kind of watching. You're not a demon.
You're actually gonna run up to him and say, "Oh gosh," and then how high? Like, is he up on something?
He's about 15 feet up in a bunch of discarded scaffolding. And by in, I mean in a handful of what look like metal dowels, as well as these large misshapen leg bones form the actual structure of the scaffolding. And he appears to be half encaged within it and half impaled in it.
I'm going to climb up the thing like a gecko.
All right.
And see if I can maybe help him. I've got cure wounds. Do I think that'll help him at all?
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
Do I? I do.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Oh, do we still have the community advantage? I know we had like 2 unused ones from last session. Or one unused one.
I think you'd have one. You could use it.
That's better. It was almost a
Absolutely
17 though.
With how some of these supporting elements and sort of wrought iron spines are positioned through his torso and thorax, you're not sure whether or not magic healing could save him. Even if removing him from this definitely would kill him, you think?
Even if he's healed up a little?
Even if he's healed up a little bit.
Yeah, but we've got Revivify.
Do we have the
Zerk,
time
let's
to-
go.
that.
Every game, I hate how every game has, Phoenix Down or Revivify, and yet somehow people can just die permanently.
Do we have the diamond dust is the big question.
You don't understand. He's missing too much.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys are kind of filtering in and doing some initial examinations, he finally has the strength to speak out again and says, "It's been so long, Dusty." And at that point, I think you probably recognize it as being Petrov. And initially, it was you didn't recognize him just because of the surroundings, because your mind is sort of just swimming in all these different malicious emotions. And in the darkness, a brief flicker of light from behind as Inun, his lantern ablaze, spots something off in the corner. You see a kind of a brief reflection from his eyes.
Did he find another library?
Perhaps. He might have found something quite interesting written on the walls.
Well, I mean, I generally smash walls, so I'm pretty sure I'd probably not be able to read it.
You gonna go help him?
I'll hold a lantern, I guess, but like I doubt I'll be able to read anything.
He's way back in the main room. Attention slowly being drawn towards that big spiral in the circle, or in the middle. I never think I'd see you again, especially after you left.
Did that shit.
There's bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, kind of figured.
I should have left with you, but I knew I had something, a purpose here. I guess this is it. You'd be a fucking messenger.
Purpose shouldn't be decided like this.
You're probably the only thing that can seal it back in. This whole the monastery, a lot of the mountain is built around keeping that in. I don't know where it went.
What
But I
is it?
think for a few days, I couldn't tell how long or how many of them were here. They were building a body out of all the villagers, my friends, family, cutting them up and building this fucking statue. And I passed out for a long time. It hurt too much. And I got woken up when everything around me started moving. The statue, the soul that was here inhabited it. Took it on like a puppet.
They let it out. Or it was forced out.
They made a vessel for it. And then it left.
I'm gonna see if I can cast Cure Wounds on him, if that'll help at all.
Go right ahead. Go ahead and roll the healing.
Number.
The healing magic does seem to start working its magic, no pun intended. Closing up some of the surface wounds that haven't already kind of scabbed over with these giant, faintly infected looking scabs. But part of the magic itself is unable to kind of close up wounds with very large objects sticking in them. It can spit out stuff like arrows, sling bullets, projectiles like that, shrapnel even. But almost what looks to be a wooden tree trunk, maybe 6 inches thick, definitely not.
Did he mention what it was that was released or no?
Gigantic statue made from the villagers.
Gotcha. So an atrocity of the horror.
Yeah.
Zerf takes a long drag on his cigar and just sighs heavily.
was I here? Why did he say he didn't need me anymore?
There's a few bloodlines that hold power over the vault seals. Your family, the Red Wings, were among them.
Is that what,
Sorry?
is that what the name was? I didn't even remember it anymore.
I figure they didn't tell you. Yours was a important family. It was the last step in the seal. And with everyone else gone, I think you're the only one that can access that seal.
Let's see.
The one in the vault door. Though that's not much of an option anymore.
Same for two not exist.
The solution might actually be simple. Funny enough. The old mantras and historic texts mentioned that if somebody with the sealing bloodline killed it in combat, then it might seal it up just as well. Not permanently, but for our lifetimes, it'll put it away for good.
The responsibility to pass on to the next people.
His expression seems to be one of confusion for a brief few moments, kind of switching from that expression of what's the word I'm thinking of? Not reluctance, of kind of acceptance and pain. He looks at you and he says, "You're the only one that can fix this."
Rosalin's
I
gonna
would say
call in
fix.
from the other room. Have you considered dropping it in a volcano?
I wouldn't say fix. That sounds like stalling.
There's no other solution right now.
Is there an actual way to stop it, or just keep sealing it over and over again?
Just keep sealing it.
What is it?
Rak Tulkesh, the Overlord, is immortal. He'll always be trying to force his way into the mortal realm for as long as he lives down in Kyber. His actual soul is safe for now, but that aspect of him might actually break him free.
Wait. Saw the symbols outside the temple. Didn't they deify him? No. Damn it. Symbols, they were outside. What is it? What was our connection to him?
Is that in character or out of character?
In character.
In character.
The symbols were outside. The name just didn't connect.
he's gonna say, the reason that this monastery is here is to keep him sealed. This little fragment of his will has been trapped in these caves since the monastery was built. We, our people, we're here to keep it in.
Not much of that. Can't exactly make a monastery by myself anymore.
No. I think our time is up as a people, a village, a way of life. I think you can do something about this, though.
Really is no one left, though.
With what I've seen done to Misty Mound, I don't think we'll be on a map for very much longer.
Not what I asked. Is there anyone left?
Me, you. I pray that our people's spirits actually made their way to Delore safely. But nobody else.
Huh. Never was fond of them.
Are you happy now?
I was never happy. With this place or anything to do with it. And if I can't save you, then I won't.
He gives out a tiny little, or his breath kind of catches in his throat for a moment. Before you watch as his eyes slowly kind of drift apart. The limp.
Nah, man. Zareth, I'm gonna push him down. You gotta catch him. And I'm
bother.
going to try to push him off the thing. Off the scaffolding.
All right.
I'll catch him.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. Since he is currently lodged inside what is essentially a lattice of kind of misshapen, mutant-grown bones, wood, and twisted-looking cast iron.
Just flat strength?
Yeah.
Aw, man. I have a +4 to that.
Somewhere, I think you think his spine is like stuck on a hooked piece of metal. It is not moving.
I'm gonna turn Doppelganger's claw into an axe and just cut that piece of metal it's stuck on.
Go right ahead.
In fact, I'm just gonna cut him
All
out.
right, that'll actually work much better. Zerth, go ahead and give me a athletics check to catch him.
Athletics.
All right. You think his spine might be broken, as well as maybe a few ribs, but he is in fact now in your arms. The kind of leathery wings almost shredded, and kind of splayed out on either side, connected to the arms.
All right, I'm gonna lay him down to rest.
All right.
And then look at Dusty. See how he's doing.
I'm gonna hop down and try to remove bits of shrapnel from him.
Before turning around and saying, "Send me all you want in your next life. This is not my problem."
Good boy.
All right.
So are we gonna revivify him?
He's
He
missing
whispers-
parts of
he
his
whispers
body.
to me.
He-
That hasn't
he's
stopped
missing-
Dusty.
Revivify would let you revive him, missing these parts of his body. The parts that are missing at least are ones that are not really necessary for him to live. The kind of wings have been shredded a
Non-essential.
bit.
Not
Mhm.
essential.
So
Yeah, Revivify would
We
work.
lost him.
As long as. Lost who?
Dusty, we lost him from the fantasy grounds.
Oh.
You there, Dusty?
Man,
Zerf would leave the choice to bring him back up to Dusty.
well, the only person to make the choice just left.
Oh.
Is he back?
Hello.
Hello.
The last thing you heard before my internet actually checked itself.
Sorry, your mic is really bad right now.
What was the last thing you heard before my internet actually shat itself?
Said it's not my problem.
Yes.
And then I said, I asked Earth if we should revivify him, and Dovo was explaining how it's possible he'd just be missing some of his limbs. And then Zer said he'd be leave it up to you, and then you disconnected.
Don't tell me we lost him again.
No. He's just,
Thinking.
upon being given the option, he's just thinking. As if he's not even sure if this is something he wants, after he gave a pretty harsh farewell parting words.
Well, he didn't hear that.
Zer knows Dusty and knows what he's been with him for a long time. So the choice is Zerk would just go to Dusty. He's like, the choice is yours. I am not the one to make the call.
I mean, I would do it right now without asking either of you, but I'm low on spell points right now.
Alright. Fine, He seems to be actively angry with himself, but he's saying yes.
Okay.
You can pretty safely assume he wants to leave this place and everything behind about it. But this person might be the single exception he'll allow.
Zerf will nod and cast Revivify.
If it doesn't work, then I'll put him down.
So before you do that, Zova, what limbs is he missing exactly?
He has all of his 4 limbs. He is missing 2 fingers off of his right hand, as well as the sort of leathery wings. The leathery bat wings are also shredded by what looks to be kind of a large claw through each one, and the tips of his ears appear to have been cut off, likely with one kind of stroke. They seem to have the same angle on them.
I call over to Gar and say, Gar, start working up schematics for prosthetics for what he's missing. And then you can hear the sound of like one of those old timey printers working.
Also,
a dot matrix printer.
Also,
like a paper
all
is
the
coming out of the
internal
chest.
damage, the severed spine,
Hey, that's fixed with Revivify.
Or at least a little bit. You'll find out as you
It can repair things, can't replace things.
as you begin the casting of Revivify. I suppose it's a one action.
Mhm.
You perform the slight incantation under your breath as you call upon the power of the Fury to bring his soul back to the body and have him be alive once again. The first few steps go perfectly. The body is ready to take its soul back. But as a few seconds go by, the soul does not return. It is apparently either stolen away or not willing.
I just shake my head and do the hand over the eyes thing.
All right.
Says,
Looks a little bit more peaceful.
doesn't want to see me either. That or Dolores a fucker.
Gar, cancel last order. You hear
You
paper
hear-
shredder?
the paper being ripped off
No,
from
just
the
an actual shredder. Just
I'm glad this is funny for the rest of you.
oh no, it sucks, but I gotta have some sort of comedic relief in there.
I mean, I'm having a hoot over here.
a hoot.
More bird puns.
And Zerf's just gonna go over to Dusty, just look at him, and just give him just kind of give him a fatherly look. It's like the only way I can describe it.
Put the hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And gives him the I know what you're going through kind of look.
No. Like,
Sorry, your microphone isn't coming through.
I never really liked them. I bet you knew the people who raised you liked them. He was just a little different, I guess. He didn't fall in line like everyone was expected to. And even then, still didn't know me either. Idiot.
There's always those exceptions to when you're raised. And he'll look at it, look at Dusty's like, I do know that you weren't the most optimistic about this place, though it is still a home.
Sorry?
I guess Fury did one thing right. I didn't exactly want revenge on him, but he didn't die before I got here. There's that much.
Yes. The Fury is one of many ways. So, just don't let. There will be a time that you may be blinded. Just remember where you're coming from.
Where I'm coming from. Never did.
What?
I don't know where I'm coming from. Never did. And soon, nobody will. After all, he said it himself. This place ain't gonna be on the map anymore much longer. It's dead. There's nothing here to save. And it's not my problem. Let's go.
Zerf's gonna pull him into a hug. And just kind of hold him for a little bit before letting go and continuing. Probably going into the vault, seeing what was in there.
All right. Inside this quite large cavern,
You find Rosalin.
Actually, give me a perception check.
Me or him?
Him. He's checking out. Actually, both of you.
Nope, that's persuasion.
Yes, perception, please. I think.
Yeah.
I think Dusty lost his internet again.
Oh, still here.
Floor.
Can I roll intimidation
never mind.
instead to intimidate the objects showing to me?
No, unfortunately, you cannot.
Can
But
I
it's a lot of fairly. I think anybody could actually roll perception at this point. It is sight based. So Yark and Sinel, you can do it if you like. Sinel. So as you're kind of looking around in this this gigantic main room, just kind of peering around, maybe looking for items of interest. You do see among some of the inscriptions, which are definitely more utilitarian than anything else. You do see a little. It's like a little, almost a hieroglyph, of a squirrel wielding 3 axes. 2 of them in the sort of front paws, and 1 with the tail.
And where is this?
It's just it's kind of on one of the side walls, almost directly north of you.
So, like about here?
Yep.
The sacred texts.
But the walls
Rosalin.
themselves appear to be decorated with just innumerable wards of various sealing, protectant, stuff like that. Definitely just designed to keep whatever was in here. And just kind of the whole area kind of goes back a decent ways. Were you about to say, Sinel?
Rosalin, this kind of looks like something I'd see you doing.
Huh? Wait, what? Rosalin scoots over.
He's gesturing at it.
Previously forgetting the lamp that she was holding for
You know.
I've forgotten his name. It's gone. Yeah, just when you know those moments where you try to think of something, it just goes completely blank.
Mhm.
Idun, yeah. It's like he was never here. Ooh, no. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the. I'm gonna do the thing.
You gonna do the thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna look at it.
All right. Looking at it, it does appear to be definitely a squirrel wielding 3 axes.
So a blender squirrel.
Yes. But I mean, you've only got 2 axes.
Well,
You got
hammers,
a hammer
but yeah.
and an axe, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna trace my fingers over it.
All right. You're not really feeling any deja vu sort of feelings, so
Huh. This is neat.
maybe it's just a
I wonder who
coincidence.
could have done.
Yeah.
Who could have done this? I wonder. Like, I've not really seen any of my kind since coming here.
That's true.
Hey, can any of you magic key detectors like tell if the if it's safe to be in here or not?
I'm going to ritual cast detect magic then.
All right. As you kind of place your, you look down to place.
I'm sorry,
the,
but the thing that came to my mind is, okay, now let's check if this room's irradiated. We're all just gonna chill out in here. 10 minutes later, holy shit, it's off the charts. Yeah, we're all fucked.
Yark, quick! Tell us if the room is dangerous. He takes off his goggles. Hold on, my goggles are loading. It's just like a loading screen that's slowly moving up. Oh, sorry, these things are really powerful. They just gotta warm up.
as you look down, as you have to, for this one especially, you have to put a few crystals on the ground in a specific location to do this ritual, and you look, and it's just, you realize you've been standing in about a half-inch pool of blood this whole time.
Okay, so like most of my leg then.
Yeah.
A sixth of my body.
How
No,
tall are
12.
you?
I am 1 foot right now.
1 foot tall, so yeah, that would be
Or a
up to
12
your ankles.
Now the question is, does anybody need blood for their spells? Because there's plenty of it.
There's plenty of it, yeah. It's probably not good blood. There's
I
stuff floating in it.
believe that the only person that needs that would be Inun, and he's not here.
Yeah, he'll eventually get to it.
Spreads.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna admire this wall carving while Yark gets to casting detect magic. In fact, I'm gonna take the pommel of one of my hammers and try to like amend it slightly.
All right. In what way?
To make them more look like hammers than axes. I don't know.
Okay. Just taking like the. Okay, go ahead and give me a dexterity check, unless you have like stone working.
I do not have stone working.
All right, then just straight up dexterity. You carefully line it up and you give it like a few little taps. Tap, 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 tap. Nothing's working. You give a tiny bit more force, and it just. Oh. There's a sizable like cracked dent in it. Where the hammer ought to be is just kind of this spider web and almost like a crater. It's still visible, but it's kind of deformed and crumbling away as you remove the pommel of your hammer.
Out of frustration, I'm going to whack it.
All right, just powder now. Not like art. Sorry, I had to.
I'm sorry, I thought I heard blue for a moment.
His hand's actually him. So, finishing up your ritual, you're actually getting almost zero magic at all from this whole area. These are runes of binding. These should be just blinding in the amount of magic that they're giving off to a detect magic spell, but they're not. You do, however, you see a little shimmering bit in one of the larger piles of discarded refuse. And by refuse, I mean body parts that didn't quite fit the artistic vision of the sculpture.
I'm gonna go get it.
All right.
Would you say Sigma was a true artiste?
He was. He knew that there was a giant thing hidden amongst all the villagers. He just had to chisel it out, you know?
Yeah, chisel it out. I was about to say that.
Something about there's an elephant in every block of marble. You just got to find it.
He had to hack a few pieces off here and there.
Mm-hmm. All right, digging through the various refuse and muck. Oops, that way. All right. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll. Just a flat D20 roll, Yark.
My number.
Give me one more. It's a pool of 15.
Okay.
Nice.
I got it. Okay, one more.
Okay, but even if
But
I
this
roll
one-
will you take the best result because I got a 20?
20's not on the list, but I'll consider it. Okay, that's on the list. All right then. You find, kind of digging through it. Are you wearing gloves for any of this, or are you like a true Renaissance man of the time and just ignorant of germs?
Fingerless gloves.
Fingerless gloves, gotcha.
Yes and no.
So you're starting to dig through the.
I am a very clean kobold.
You can clean yourself off. You start digging through it, and embedded into a broken, kind of beast-like skull, still with plenty of flesh hanging off of it. You find a little purple stone, about the size of your fist, but would be about the size of maybe, I don't know, a thumb drive. For anybody else, it's a purple sort of crystal prism with a decent amount of magic in it right now.
I'm gonna do a quick search and make sure there's nothing else in the room magical.
Alright.
Yeah, it's right.
It appears that this would be the only thing in the room. Go ahead and roll me a d4.
Okay. 1.
All right. So backtrack. It's not much magic in it, actually.
Oh.
But with your artificing training, I think you'd instantly recognize this as possibly being an Ione stone.
Wow.
You're not sure which one, though.
You heard of these.
I'm going to add it to your inventory. Possibly, if I can drag on this. No, not on the inventory sheet, you fool! Drag on that window, thank you. Oh my god, I'm about to lose my fucking mind. I'm sorry.
Are you though?
Yeah? Here we go, it should be in there. It is a stone prism, currently. But you would be kind of over in kind of this corner when you found it. You'd be in superposition between those two squares. There you go. But it's fairly small. Kind of looks like a Jolly Rancher, except a bit more striations kind of going through the middle of a sort of milky white quartz. But it's definitely magical. You can feel it in your hand, and you can also see it through the detect magic spell.
So you said it's what color? White?
Purple.
Purple.
With little quartz striations running through it.
And it's round?
No, it's a rectangular prism, so it kind of looks like a Jolly Rancher.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. But as far as you're aware, that is the only magical item inside this room. Is anybody else doing anything?
Hey, Zerf, you think I could wield 3 hammers?
He tilts his head. That would be amazing. Would it be like 2 in your hand and 1 with your tail?
Yes.
Oh, his eyes sparkle. Just the thought of that.
So,
So you made me do, Dova.
from the apex of this cave, you hear a brief scrabble of claws upon rock, as well as what appears to be a tiny stalagmite break free, as down from the ceiling plummets a small demon, about the size of a regular kobold, and as it splashes down on its back, kind of crying out in surprised pain. It looks at you all, sees you all, and then tries to bolt for the exit. Basically running between Rosalin and Zerth.
Smite!
I would like to RKO it.
All right.
I would like to. If that doesn't, if that doesn't work, I'm gonna cast Hold Person on it.
Which of your dexterities is higher between Rosalin and Zerth?
Probably not mine.
Mine is
I have
+2.
I have a -1.
All right, Rosalin, you'd be able to go first. So you want to grapple, or you want to just smack him with a hammer?
I'm gonna RKO
All right,
him.
go ahead and give me a melee attack first.
May I substitute it using my athletic skill because my racial once a day.
Go right ahead.
Bang.
All right, that would definitely hit. And go ahead and give me another athletics check to do the actual RKOing. As you manage to get a good hold on him.
How's that?
Thankfully, this works out since both of you are about the same size. But you kind of give him a stunning blow, swivel around the side, put your arms around his kind of near his hips, and you just flex backwards, putting him over your head and just suplexing him directly into the ground. You hear, I don't remember what an RKO is. I'm gonna be real.
It's the one where like you clothesline them with your arm, and then how do I explain it? You clothesline them with their arm. They like fly horizontal, kinda, and then you do an elbow drop onto their neck.
Oh, okay. I need to watch. I actually need to watch a video of this to give you a reference.
For science, of course.
Yeah.
For immersion purposes.
For immersion purposes, of course.
For
Not
research.
immersion.
Okay, so no, it's the one where you grab their neck
Hmm.
and like.
All right,
It's so-
I could see that.
You grab their
As
head.
it sprints past, and Rosalind, seeing that, is able to catch up to it, overtake it, and grab its head and just slam it down into the rocks under her as she just drops down. You hear a sickening crack, almost like you dropping a watermelon off of a 2-story building. As you manage to just split its skull open on some of the bloody stones on the floor.
Damn it. I was hoping to keep it as a punching bag for Dusty. Sir, if the new punching bag broke.
It's
We
fine.
can't have nice things.
I don't want to remind her of this place anyway.
We really can't have nice things.
If there's nothing else, I think we should go. He'll take the Zerk will take the demon body with him.
All right.
Just grab it by its tail.
It is rotting very fast. You can already see it going through the stages of rigor mortis,
I'm going to
as
hop.
demons do.
I'm going to hop onto Zerth and stick to him while I cast ritual cast identify on the Ioun's.
All right.
I keep see you guys keep saying that. I keep hearing IOU stone.
IOUN.
I-
Ioun.
I know what an iron stone is, but it's just all I hear is IOU stone. So all I'm thinking is IOU one spell. It's like you try to cast a spell and it just prints out a ticket saying IOU one spell.
It's like the gun bang from Looney Tunes, except it says I owe you a spell. Little pop of confetti comes out. Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna be ritual casting identify from atop
Alright.
Zerth as we continue forward,
All right.
or where we're going.
As you guys are starting to filter out of the room, I'm waiting on one thing. Go ahead and give me that roll, Dusty. You can do it at the tower if you like.
Ooh, sneak rolls.
I gotta check the party sheet real quick. All right. You do the thing, and nobody notices.
Zer's preoccupied with his demon.
What?
Zer's preoccupied with his demon.
Preoccupied from what? Nothing happened. I'm being facetious.
Zerf is preoccupied with the stone structures that are on fire and covered in fleshy bits.
Ah, there you go. All right.
Hey, speaking of fire, should we I don't know, set fire to this place more? It probably is unsalvageable now.
A
We would
cleansing
kill it.
flame would probably be good.
We'd kill any more demons that are hiding around here.
Hey, Yark, you're good with explosions.
For the last time, I don't make things explode on purpose.
Well, then make the place explode on accident. Then
Zerf's just walking down, leisurely casting fireballs like a game show host.
How many
you
spell
get a
points do you have?
fireball, and you get a fireball, and you get a fireball.
Let me do some math.
Yeah, I think you know exactly how many you can actually cast.
I just start shooting firebolts all over the
Oh. More than I thought, less than you think.
All right.
I can cast... it's like 4.7 fireballs. Oh, wait. Hold on. What level is fireball?
Hey guys, imagine if crab meat was flammable.
It might be at this
Oh.
point. It's fermented quite a bit.
Oh, hold on. That was level
Yeah.
5 fireball
Yeah,
calculation.
you know what, Dova? I am going to fucking put my 150 pounds of crab meat that I never ate because Yark keeps cooking me things, and yeah, I'm gonna toss a torch at it.
Wouldn't you know it? It catches real good.
I can cast 6.6
I'm
fireballs.
helping.
Dusty, And may I remind you, none of you know anything about this. You feel a distinct wholeness, a satisfaction of urges that you've put aside for a very, very long time, that you've repressed for a very, very long time. You don't know exactly what you were expecting, but it feels empowering, almost intoxicatingly so. In some ways, it's a little bit disappointing, but in other ways, it's more than you could have ever hoped for in ways that you can't quite describe. You remember why you did this. And that's it. I certainly hope that you were online and able to hear that.
Was.
All right, perfect. Because your internet is spotty.
That would have been bad if he wasn't here.
I love doing big monologues, and they're like, "All right, I'm back. What happened?"
Yeah, it's not present.
And now
Um,
for Act 3, the redestining.
Yeah, we'll probably just burn this place down.
Dusty walks out of the vault.
All right.
I mean, I already got a head start. I set a box of fermented crab meat on fire.
That's what Surf loves about the initiative.
It's lighting up the interior of the of this sort of almost. I mean, technically now it's a crypt.
What smells like baked seafood.
Yeah, I bet Newt is so disappointed that we're just getting rid of all the evidence.
Yeah, he is. He is just grabbing books, as many as he can, like, that look interesting, and just shoving them into his bag of holding.
It's a game.
Actually, my personal canon for what he's actually doing is all those bodies laying around. Those are great fuel for his spells later.
That is also
Arts
very
of
true. He is stocking the fuck up.
Stealthily, that's why he's not
Totally
with us, is
disgusted.
because he doesn't want to, risk pissing off anybody.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what he's been kind of up to. As you guys are just throwing fires left and right, I'd say there would not be any demons in at least sizable numbers that would be able to actually do you any harm at this level. Basically, little fiends and imps left to their own devices, scavenging through the halls. I'll say that you managed to kill maybe 10 or 12 of them, just kind of on your way out, meandering through some of the halls.
It's like just kick him with a boot.
Pretty much, or just like leisurely get them with one of your cheaper arrows, Sinnel, since you're not wasting a load bow on an imp.
Yeah, no. But I will pick him off.
But after a little while, and after you end up burning most of your crab meat, and after what remains of flammable materials, including tossed aside bodies and debris, is starting to go up in flames, you've managed to make it to the outside again. It is currently nighttime, and quite deep into the nighttime as well. Maybe, say, 2 a.m.-ish by the time you make it out. Off in the distance, you can see the smoldering remains of the village inside the glen. Grove? The island of trees in the middle of the plain.
You know that scene in Toy Story where they use Rex as a battering ram, and he's like, "That's not what I went when I meant to use my head," or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what. I just imagine that, except with Rosalin and just jump like there's an imp blocking the way, and it's like let's use our hands, and she just headbutts it. Do some damage as well. Don't forget that my dread helm has those ram horns affixed to it.
That's true.
Zerk would suggest finding a place to bed down for the night.
Can Yark technically just like draw as a door on a flat surface?
It's true. As you're finally making your way out into the light, you actually identify the stone that you have. Where is it in your inventory? Where'd it go? If you're trying to talk, Yark can't hear you.
I'm waiting for you to identify the stone.
Where is it?
Please tell me it's an iron stone of the light spell.
Ah, there it is. Found it. It's a good one. You found an ion stone of reserve.
Yeah, that's a spell story one.
Yeah. You can store up to 3 levels of spells inside. Which, in this case, I'd say it works like a ring of spell storing, and you specifically have to cast the spells inside.
Figured. So, like, I cast a Cure Wounds on it, then I can only cast Cure Wounds with it.
Yeah. It's not like spell point storage.
I figured. That seems like what it would be. I'm going to give this to Rosalin.
Wait, what?
Interesting. Do you have to be able to cast it on the in the text?
No. So, any creature can cast a spell of first through third into the stone by touching it as the spell is cast. The spell has no effect other than to be stored in a stone. Skipping text. When the stone orbits your head, you can cast any spell stored in it. The spell uses the slot level, spell save DC, and attack save, and a spell attack bonus, and spellcasting ability of the original caster, but is otherwise treated as if you cast the spell. So anyone can cast it as long as someone stores a spell into it.
The wording, the Yark. Cast. Barbarian specifically says you cannot cast spells while raging, nor maintain concentration on them. That's as it's written default. Like
I didn't realize barbarians couldn't. I mean, I guess it makes sense that you can't concentrate while raging, but I'd hope that you.
It's basically to get around people casting like haste on themselves and then going into rage, because people did that in 3rd edition. Hold on, let me.
That's who would do that?
Welcome back. Your steadfast loyalty is
Looks at Yark.
appreciated.
Who would have thought that was a thing that could be done? Good thing I had other plans for the Ion Stone that could cast 3rd level things.
You will find a use for it.
Yeah, so it specifically says, if you are able to cast spells, you can't cast them or concentrate on them while raging. I cannot share it, but if you look up Barbarian in the library and specifically read Rage, yeah. It sucks, because I knew what you were going for and I would have appreciated it, but, you know.
Looks like I'll just have to settle for casting haste on you every single combat.
I mean, store haste in it.
Yeah, store haste in it, and then you don't need to waste spell points on it later. It's just at the end of the day, store haste in it.
I don't have any more attunement slots.
Oh, that's rough.
I've already got 4 things attuned. I'm already cheating the system. I can't do another one.
Have you considered not fucking jumping around like a stupid gecko everywhere?
I have not.
Oh, that hurt. That digs deep. Was that in character?
That at all.
If that was in character, I think you can legally fight back.
No, that was out of character. Because in character, Rosalin doesn't know what the fuck is making Yark do that other than he's weird.
That's true.
So I've got my Gauntlets of Ogre Power, my Ooze that I can't really unattune from, unless I've been remove cursed. Slippers of Spider Climbing, I believe, is attunement.
Yep.
And I can't remember if the last one is the Doppelganger's Claw or the Ring of Jumping. I know one of them requires attunement and the other one doesn't.
Oh, there's also the gauntlets, unless you already said that.
That was the first thing I said.
Okay. Either way, you guys are now out.
Okay, it's the ring.
Okay, so Ring requires attunement, and you may cast the jump spell as a bonus action, so you don't just get it innately. Remember that.
Oh, I know. But as soon as I got it, I told Dova, just pretend I'm casting it all the time. Unless it's, of course, during combat, in which case, just assume that I cast it at the beginning of combat.
Mhm. All right.
So a bonus action at will is essentially just permanent.
Yeah, this okay. Ring of jumping, that would be Curzon's ooze, yeah.
Why do you even need the Gauntlets of Ogre Power?
Strong.
Because it
Oh,
affects him the
because
most.
Ring of Jumping is useless unless I have good strength. Like, yeah, I can double my 2-foot jump, my 1-foot jump height to 2 feet.
I mean, if you want to actually have useful items, I'd suggest dropping the ring and the gauntlets, keeping the spider climb boots.
For now, it's okay. I don't really need the Ion Stone. I have my own spells. Someone else can use it who doesn't have the ability to cast spells all the time.
I like how those gauntlets are like literally useless if you're a strength class as well.
Yeah.
Aren't those ones actually part of a set? Like there's an ogre something,
No,
and ogre something.
you're thinking of like the it's like a giant Slayer belt or something and a hammer that goes with it, I think. Or
Something
maybe
like
it's
that.
a dwarven something.
Anyways,
Gauntlets of Ogre Power is just one of the 6 items that makes X stat 19.
what you guys doing?
Taking a nap.
I can second that notion.
Zerf's just exhausted.
You guys gonna
should-
go into your
should-
house?
Yeah, shall we go home?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Never mind. I think we're good to keep going.
All right. So, as you start drawing the ritual on the wall, about a few minutes pass by, and you finish scribing the doorway with the last little stroke of chalk on the stone wall. It almost sinks in, and you are slowly kind of pulled through into the familiar space of your villa. Is it always evening, or does it follow a logical? Oh yeah, we figured it does the stupid Minecraft thing where the moon comes out at night only.
It's normal, but like it's faster.
Yeah, it's gotcha. All right, it is currently nighttime, as you are now finally safe. What's for dinner, Yark? You're extremely tired, a little bit beat up, and your arms feel extremely rubbery from changing into a slime.
Whoops! Drop my hand.
Go. There it goes. You're
Squelch backs on my wrist. Probably something with a lot of simple prep work, so that Gar could take care of most of the work. I'm thinking some big hearty stew with like,
just throw a bunch of stuff inside.
and like we could do this big hunk of beef right in the middle.
All right.
A big beef stew.
All right. As you make your way inside, it appears that both the groundskeeper, Irian Scottsfelt, as well as your ghost maid, Sophia, are either asleep or just kind of inactive off somewhere in some corner. As you don't see him on your way in. But you do happen to see a small, like, flock of goats just kind of hanging out in a little fenced-in portion of the front yard. Seems they're currently asleep.
Nice, he got on that.
Zerf is literally doing that stripping thing. He's just taking his armor off and he's just gonna plunk into his own pond.
bet like just fall forward belly flop kind of thing.
There's a trail of
yep.
debris.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
He belly flops into the pond, and Rosalin just jumps onto his back with both feet and makes him skim across the surface.
Yep. Exactly. 100%.
Inune's going to head into his tower and deposit everything. Everything he can, at least.
Antisocial fucking fuck. He's got that jukebox as well, so like we could literally make a joke about him being up at like 3 a.m. playing tunes in his fucking tower.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's the meme where it's playing Caramel Dancing and the lights are going all rave colored, and he's just like face down in his bed asleep.
Fucking dead, down dead on the
all,
floor.
all of his skeletons are actually doing the caramel dancing, and he's just not aware of it.
I love that meme so much.
All right. It is time for a long rest.
Woohoo!
So what's on the docket?
Well, first off, we're probably going to exit this place and find out that 20 years has passed.
Not by any magical means. We actually just slept for 20 years because we were that exhausted.
Yeah. You wake up at like, because you guys got home at like 3 a.m., got some food in your gullets by 4, and by the time you get to sleep, you can see the brief little tinges of dawn on the horizon. So by the time you wake up, it's about maybe like 2 p.m.
No, we walk outside and we found out that somebody built a freaking mega temple city around the door, believing it to be a holy object.
Oh no, the door vanishes after we go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the ruins were still there, though.
The ruins are still there, but only people on the guest list can actually come through.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I meant. Like they're gonna see the ruins there and just start worshiping it like a holy object.
I make eggs on toast.
As Zerth, as you are slowly waking up inside your pool, you're starting to feel a distinct kind of stinging sensation from your left flank. And you kind of look down and you see that an arrow is currently embedded in it.
Didn't even wake him up.
No.
He's gonna go. Sinnoh!
Suddenly you kind of jolt awake, not exactly sure what happened. Just from like
He
across
feels
the
a
villa.
disturbance in the force.
Something happened.
Right, Rosalin goes bolt upright, tail and all, jumps off the bed, picks the bed up, flips the bed over, goes back to sleep.
Like full 360-degree spin, flip on the bed.
Yeah.
Siddle's just
he's-
looking around, not sure what happened in his room.
You
He's gonna.
hear a slow splashing sound, and as well as a kind of a wet slap and stomp as his wet clawed feet stomp across the ground.
Oh, he is hauling some serious.
Moments later, you hear boom, 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 boom.
Siddle's going to have his short spears ready. Not sure what evil thing is approaching.
Your the lantern in your room right now is flashing, much like the torches do in Phasmophobia when the ghost is hunting you.
Zer is gonna kick open the door, look at Sinnoh, and then just look at him, and then point to the arrow in his butt.
What? That's not me!
And then he's gonna close the door behind him.
Look! He grabs his quiver. See, that doesn't even match my arrows.
He's gonna pull the arrow out of his butt. Does it match the arrows?
Technically not. No.
If I may
He's-
interrupt. At this moment, do you guys remember my time robot homunculus mirror?
Yeah.
He wiggles his way underneath the door, and he walks between you two, and he has a little what looks to be a small round stone in his hand, and he taps it with a little metal finger, and you hear Yark's voice playing as if on a recorded message, saying, "When you guys are finished, I'm making sausage gravy for breakfast." And then he walks back, squiggles back under the door and leaves.
Zerf does the thing with his fingers with the eyes as he just backs out and closes the door.
Siddle's just gonna slump onto the bed. He just saw his life flash before his eyes.
Your fur's all bristled. The sound is cowering underneath the bed.
So you hear the thump, 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 thump. Observe just goes back. He's gonna be looking for this arrow. Like where he's gonna go back to Rapon and just kind of look like, where the hell did this arrow come from?
Did you move the server or something?
What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard it disconnect and connect real quick.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Might just be
Huh.
Discord recycling something, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I just thought I'd ask.
It's whoever shot me with an arrow in my butt.
So Mir is going to be relaying this message to everyone. It's an adorable thing I just realized I could do. Because he can't talk because he's a robot without a mouth. But, like, I can do the thing where I can make tiny recorded messages on small objects.
Or we could just get tubes installed.
Oh shit.
It's too much work.
That's true.
Robot with a talking stone is easier.
Pneumatic tubes.
I've triggered Dova now. He wants to play Factorial or Satisfactory right now. I bet you.
Pipes.
Satisfactorio.
Yeah.
Satisfactory with the complexity of Factorio.
I want to
God.
build. I want to play Stationeers again. It's had quite a lot of updates.
That's true. Anyways, off topic.
What does this arrow look like? Is it a distinct markings or?
It is very bog standard. Sinnoh, you definitely would have recognized it after a little while. After he leaves the room, you realize, oh god, that was my arrow. For the traps, you use some bone stock, super cheap arrows like bargain bin that you bought bulk.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That was probably one of the ones that you don't remember setting up.
Yeah. But he's
Zerf must never
going.
know.
Yeah, Zerth must never know.
Now
Better
Zerf
to
is
have
looking
him-
for somebody else.
Yeah, better to have him panic thinking somebody else is here rather than, Siddle's fur being separated from his hide.
I mean, it is winter. We could use a fur coat.
It's true. It's getting into them winter months. Where's my calendar button? There it is.
Zerf's gonna keep that arrow on him. He's got a goal now. Find out who shot him in the butt.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. I think we lost Dusty again.
Yep, still here.
Oh, never mind. I think we lost you from the fantasy grounds at least.
That's the best.
Truly, this is a mystery, Zerth. Looking around under the surface of your pool gives you no leads.
Zerf's just gonna say to himself, my only conclusion is there's another ghost out for my head.
You need 3 pieces of evidence to identify it.
Or that Medusa is back. Squinting eyes. He's gonna light a cigar. This confounds and puzzles me.
Can someone please tell me how he's lighting a cigar underwater?
Gator magic.
It's less of a cigar and more of an underwater flare, isn't it?
Yeah, at this point.
We got art from Power Stone.
I
15 minutes ago.
I kind of could see Zerth having purchased magical stogies that can, be lit underwater.
He would invest in that, yes.
Oh, jeez.
Since art, it's perfect. Sorry.
Yes! We shall forever have the IOU stone. Delva needs to become an actual item.
You put a spell, it doesn't give it back.
No, but you do get to collect that IOU from someone. Doesn't tell you who. But you get. It's like you just show up to the big bad evil guy's hut. Yeah, you owe me a fireball. What? You owe me a fireball. He tries to cast fireball on you and it just rebounds in his face.
Oh yeah, I owe you a fireball. Hear it! Ah!
I have created the perfect Wanderer's item. You cannot deny this.
And then Zerf would probably get dressed and go inside.
Alright. Breakfast is delicious as always.
God, I love sausage gravy.
Sausage gravy, biscuits, I assume.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very fragrant, so you can quickly smell it through the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Rosalin managed to have her coffee first before breakfast.
There you go. You just you power through it real just heartily. As you are serving up Zerth with his probably 3rd serving by now, this is something that you've felt before, that you've received before. It is a sending message with the distinct voice of a house relay agent. someone who basically just does this for a living, saying, "Sir or Sirette Yark, you are being summoned by House Galanda. Please proceed to your nearest house outpost for a urgent message."
Jeez. All right, guys. I'll be back. As I start walking out the door, I'm gonna ask Gar and say, "Do you know where the nearest outpost is?"
Gar kind of clinks and like squeaks a little bit as he shrugs.
No, but technically speaking, if the dude were here, quote unquote, he could teleport us to Shar, and you could just go that way.
I don't believe there's an actual teleportation circle in this place, so you'd have to go outside, back
And
to,
then-
and then
Yeah,
find a.
that's how it.
Hmm.
That,
discussed that,
that would be.
That you can't actually teleport circle from our place because on a different plane.
I suppose
No,
you actually
I want-
cast it without a
I
permanent
wasn't.
circle.
I wasn't suggesting from here. I was suggesting that there's probably a place nearby.
Mhm.
Maybe. Possibly.
All right. Well.
You reckon any of
I-
the bigger cities ought to have at least one House Galanda, a restaurant or a tavern? They might be able to hook you up, or you could just go straight to Sharn, and you know
Alright,
for a fact where one of those is.
I'm going to walk out of the building. Everyone else, I believe, has the magic key thing, where like you can cast it as a ritual.
I think all the spellcasters, yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to leave.
All right.
As I'm walking out, I'm going to call back and say, "Be sure to put the leftovers in the cold box." And then I go.
What leftovers?
Yeah, probably.
True.
Yeah, I
Alright,
don't know
that's-
about anybody else, but anytime sausage and gravy is made, there is never enough.
There
Never
never is enough.
Have you never
Hey,
heard
Frank.
of the great British specialty called bangers and mash?
Mm.
No.
No.
It's sausage gravy and mashed potato.
Ooh.
It's considered to be an extremely British thing.
I don't know.
I will have
can't
to
help
try
but
it.
think that add a bit more rigidity to it.
my hamster to suck eggs.
With onion gravy.
Mm. So I'll assume that Inun just tags along so that you can teleport.
Oh, I was just gonna fly there.
All
But
right.
okay.
You're just gonna fly there.
Okay, see you in 2 months.
I'm interested now. I mean, it would take quite a while to go to Sharn. The major city next to you, I believe it took about 3 days to walk.
How is it like 60 feet around?
Hmm?
Although I guess I'd have to cast fly a lot.
Yeah, you'd have to cast fly quite a bit.
I thought it lasts for an hour. It only lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a traveling spell. It's for maneuvering and combat / not falling to your death.
Okay, Inun will come and teleport.
Alright. Inun needs to do some errands as well. He's got a few specialized ingredients he needs to pick up.
I'm imagining Idun like cackling over a giant cauldron with just this spoon that's like twice the size of him, and there's just body parts sticking out of it.
Alright, as you leave the pocket dimension, back into the prime-material plane, Yark and Inun, they would see not much has changed outside, aside from the fires have kind of mostly died down, and the only thing remaining is maybe a few little embers, but it's just kind of off there in the distance, silent, the ruins of Misty Mountain. But after tracing a teleportation circle in the sort of stony ground, you two are whisked away, and by whisked, kind of transported to that realm where you have to kind of walk the path. But about midway through walking the thin pathway, off in the distance, inside the inky blackness, you can see a small patch of what looks to be kind of lit by very intermittent lighting, almost like little flashes. The little tiny, almost toy-sized city, maybe about 50 feet away, towards the left. So, and that yawn building for about 10 minutes. Yeah, kind of off towards the left of the pathway. So as you're walking southwards, it would have been somewhere on the east of the map. Here, let me share the main map. But in those little flashes of light, every so often you see the little reflected silhouette of something quite large lurking in the darkness. It's hard to get a pin on exactly how big it is, but it is big. Especially compared to the tiny little model town beneath. But it doesn't seem to be making any noise, as it simply kind of towers over it, staring down at it, you assume, since you can't see the eyes. But its general shape reminds you of that icon, the statue of Ral Tukesh. Sorry, Rak Tulkesh. Which I am going to repost the picture of, so you get an idea of the general shape. Where's tabletop image? Tabletop gaming image. I cannot find it. Oh, there it is. Found it.
I was about to say, since we see nothing, there's nothing actually there.
It's actually just a few posts up. I'm just gonna copy paste the Discord link for it.
I'm still saying it's just like 12 kobolds in a coat.
That's the
I do
general
have to
shape.
say, I love the fact that Discord creates links for all of the images on them.
It's
Makes
good stuff.
It makes it so much easier for sharing.
I love the picture of that thing.
But as the magic is slowly starting to fade from the spell, you kind of have to hurry along and make your way to Sharn. And the nice, quiet countryside, which you've been familiar with, as that's the sort of sound that the villa makes, is replaced with a bustling metropolis right during the lunch rush. So there is plenty of traffic all around you, plenty of stuff just happening all at once. And you are now in Sharn. Yark, go ahead and give me an investigation check. As Inun would be smart enough to say, alright, we meet back here in just like at sundown. I don't know. 5 o'clock. There's a big clock tower over there. Just when that little hand, you know how clocks work. Just be here at 5, and then we'll teleport back. Sorry, Kobold?
Sounds a lot like
You're coming through a bit muffled, but I think it's evening out. All right. So, you have a pretty decent idea of where to go. It's the actual office, or not really office, but the House Galanda embassy in Sharn is actually one of the more popular taverns, sort of drink hall, and also a fight club combined. They used to do a niche sort of a violent shifter game, which the name of which is kind of escaping me as well as you. But that since that was outlawed, they don't do that anymore. Now they do kind of traditional sort of gladiator boxing sort of things. But the food is always flowing from the kitchen, as is the ale from the taps. It is clean, it is nice smelling, and this is actually where you did a short stint as an apprentice. Basically washing dishes with a prestidigitation wand, as well as by hand.
I believe there's a word for
Wand washing.
that. No.
Dishwashing? Internship.
It's like a fancy word in a different language.
Oh, it's in... trying to think what nation would be most like French or France. Maybe Karnath. Now beyond there, I think. But I get where you're getting at. Either way, you kind of make your way in, and you're almost instantly recognized as a member of House Galanda by the person manning the front desk, who's actually an old friend.
Stagiaire.
Ah, the French word.
It's where cooks will go visit and work at other restaurants to, learn new techniques and help them out and stuff.
I didn't know that actually. Link me that wiki article at some point, because I'm curious. But the person behind the counter is a fairly short halfling woman. Was about your height, but now you're quite a bit smaller. She looks down, she says, I could have sworn you came up to my chin at least.
A lot has changed since we met.
Hey, I can tell. So,
As the
Usually people grow
giant metal-
taller.
as the giant metal gargoyle walks in. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, you have been busy.
Oh, this is my sous chef.
You managed to get it to actually cook? I'm impressed.
He does a lot of more simple stuff like the chopping, and Gar is going to flex and let out steam through his nose.
Hey, fair enough. I'm surprised that you got time to do all that. Since you're prepping for the banquet at the Gourmand next week. Give me a bluff, or not bluff, deception check.
Wait, what do you think I said?
You said, uh-huh.
No,
I
I
just
said
wanted...
the huh.
Oh, okay.
The and then HUH.
Gotcha. The banquet next week up at the Gourmand, which, by the way, you would know is the fucking restaurant.
I haven't had any contact with the house for months now. In fact, I sent word that my group was in trouble, and I never got back.
For real? Oh, uh-oh. Look, I don't keep up with all the official correspondence, but as far as I'm aware, your name is under the head chef position for the catering event next week.
Hmm.
I don't know who's on the guest list, but somebody real important is.
Interesting. So where's the headquarters? Not. This is out of character. Where's the Galanda headquarters?
Well, the House Galanda headquarters is
Out of
actually
character.
out of character. It would be in. It would actually be in. I believe it's Valinar. Valinar or Kubara.
Is that far?
Yeah, across the continent.
Oh. How much?
But you are currently in the Sharn embassy, so this is where all their operations go through. But she's just the kind of the person at the front desk.
Oh, so there's like someone specialized I can talk to, like someone.
Yeah. Best of luck, my friend. Planning all that out in a week.
So is there someone here, Dova?
Yeah, it's just go down the hallway. He'll see you.
Okay, I'm going to go.
All right. Down at the end of the hallway is a closed door, and as you approach, you hear the distinct yelling of who you remember to be one of the big wigs in Sharn. All the chefs would eventually, through one way or another, answer to him, and he is a short-tempered, perfection-seeking, very muscular man who is quite intimidating. Think Gordon Ramsay, but he's an orc.
He's he's not Gordon Ramsay. He's Jordan Ramsay.
Half orc, sorry, not an orc. But as you open the door, one of the people who you've kind of bumped heads with in the past storms out, obviously just simmering, no pun intended, with rage.
Don't lie to me, Dova.
But he stomps past you, barely acknowledging you, and honestly almost stepping on you.
Huh, well, at least that feels familiar.
The half orc kind of bumps through the doorway and just kind of gestures wildly at him angrily.
The salmon was fucking raw!
But he turns to you, now done with his incoherent, rambling rage. Says, "Oh, Yark, it's been a little while, and I'm getting a little bit worried."
It feels like longer than that.
Notice how I used the word little in 2 sentences.
It's much bigger. There's as Okra, head chef of a small, extremely high class restaurant at the top of one of the southern spires, Le Perrine, looks you up and down and says, "Thought you were taller."
You mean looks me down and down?
Yeah, just not much to look up and down. Yeah.
Yeah, this lets me. A lot of stuff has changed. At least I'm a lot better at the detail work though.
Mm.
My sous chef handles most of the big chopping.
I can tell he's got more arm. Anyways, from what I've been hearing off my suppliers, you haven't bought anything so far. You're gonna have to get on that if you want to survive.
Oh,
unless you've got something else planned somewhere out of Sharn. Which case, props to you.
I've been kind of on my own, occasionally with a small band, occasionally fighting for my life for the past few months.
You went with the adventurer's life. Well, that's also good, but you're currently on the docket for organizing a banquet at the Gourmand next week. I'm sure you heard by now.
Which is weird because I've never been a head chef in my life before. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why they for that.
Listen, this one came 5 orders of magnitude from above me, so I have no idea what they're thinking. Maybe it was just a clerical mishap. But either way, your name's on the line, and if you fuck this up, I might not have any other choice than just throw you out entirely.
That's fair.
I can help you, I can give you pointers, but at this point, you're gonna have to do something drastic.
Oh, at this point, I probably really only need a. What's it called? What's the word? Manpower. I really only need cooks to help me with it. I've already got some ideas brewing. Do you have any idea who's on the guest list? As he walks in and like dons his chef jacket and puts all his venturing gear away as if it was a normal day.
I can call some people in, but it is currently SAR today, so not many people are in. On the guest list, though, guests of honor and ambassadors from most of the Dragon Marked houses. Apparently, someone at the top thought you had something good in you. So, if you manage to pull it off, serious kudos going your way. Maybe an official membership, maybe they'll even hook you up and get you a real mark.
His
And
eyes
that shit's
kind of sparkle.
real expensive. And his mark, in fact, you can see right near his neck, kind of twirling around, kind of near his collarbone, and goes under his actual coat.
Wow.
Which normally half orcs would not develop that mark on their own. You would know that.
Apparently, neither do kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm thinking about this, what do the other guys do?
As you guys are kind of going about your business, repairing some of your gear and making sure that things are in order, is there anybody kind of going outside to check on the various livestock that are currently roaming around the villa and the countryside?
Zerf would.
All right. You're just kind of taking a leisurely stroll. Would you take Rosalin along with you?
If she wants to come.
Sure, I was going to make a battleship joke, but this is equally fine.
All right.
I was thinking
guys-
that Sinel might have joined in the Sharn expedition to look for a new bow.
I forgot to mention. If anyone wanted to go to Sharn with us, we'd be welcome to them coming along. I think we forgot to ask though.
God,
Yeah,
it must feel great to be able to walk around without like 20 arrows sticking out your back.
It's also pretty good to sleep without one sticking out of your back either.
Like I can count the amount of times that Zim was literally like one hit kill, or Inun was accidentally one hit killed instead of Zim. That was the hilarious part. It's like, yeah, Inun just happened to be in the line of fire, and
So, as you guys are walking around, you see up on one of the little rolling hills is a quite large, slightly drooping tree, and you can't really tell from this distance, but it looks like somebody is currently sitting kind of leaned up against it, possibly asleep. Can't tell who.
I will walk closer.
All right. Get closer and closer, and you spot a little dash of sort of a light, lively yellow before something changes and it just suddenly disappears. But in its spot, you see another figure kind of lean back, bonk his head against the tree, and just kind of slowly groan and kind of wake up. As you're getting closer, you notice that it is, in fact, Irian Scottsfeld, the groundskeeper. He's kind of looking around. Oh, you guys are finally awake. You got home so late last night, I didn't really want to bother you. You seemed a little bit angry and very tired, so.
We had a day.
I thought we'd given you quarters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just kind of I'm out here, you know, enjoying the weather here. You know, I don't think you know, all the animals are doing their own thing. I don't have too much groundskeeping work to do.
I see. Boredom.
Give me an insight check.
Insight?
Mm-hmm. He's definitely got a shifty look to him.
Oof, that's a big check.
Oh.
Less big.
Rosalin, you're looking out. Yeah, no, everything looks pretty good. Zareth, you're like, you're 100% sure he is up to something that he doesn't want to tell you about, or that he's kind of embarrassed about.
Zareth would just give him the look of, I know you're hiding something for me.
He like shrinks back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And it will be beneficial to you and your prolonged existence if you were to explain it to me. If you want, you can do it in private, kind of look.
Did you get kicked out by the housekeeper?
Okay, that is a lot of words to be conveyed with a single look.
It's a lot of.
I don't know. Zareth's been doing that like the whole campaign, basically. I think he might be really good at this point.
He got maybe 3 words into that, and he's gonna hold his ground.
I'm gonna
He's
bonk
not
Surf
gonna-
on the back of the head for not making much sense.
He's just giving a very complex stare, and you get bonked on the back of the head by Rosalin.
Yes.
So just a little
Excellent.
open, back of the hand bat.
An exclamation mark appears above his head. Eureka.
Zareth would just say, it's like, okay, fine, but I would like to have a conversation to you later about future livestock in private.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the sheep and the goats. I was thinking maybe some chickens.
We got chickens.
We got chickens? Okay, well,
Yeah, we acquired chickens as
Okay.
well.
Probably get some
Maybe-
duck.
you wouldn't say chickens. Maybe some geese. I hear they're quite good to have around, especially as sort of livestock keepers. They're almost,
only if we get to keep one as a guard dog.
Well, yeah, that was the plan. That's my idea, at least.
A flock of murderous geese.
Mm.
Peace was never an option.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't any other kind of geese.
Guard dog geese are real.
Yes, they are. Zerf will just nod and he's like, awesome. We'll talk later about this.
He nods.
And then continue with Rosalin.
All right. As you guys go on a nice little walk. Dusty, you're feeling very
hello.
angry. You're feeling extremely angry today.
Well, that
You just
seems
want to
about
you
right.
want to break something. Get some anger out.
Seems about right. He's going to just leave the house and march off in a direction just for like 15 minutes.
All right. I'd say you probably reach the end of the island by 10.
And he just keeps on walking and somehow manages to
Walking
walk upside down under the island and then back up the other side.
Well, at the edge of the island, he will promptly begin to scream and lose his shit.
All right. As you guys are on a nice little leisurely walk, you see off on one of the little edges by a tree is Dusty, who is currently just screaming. You'd hear him before you see him, but you could tell that it's a scream of anguish and anger. And as you round a bend, you'd probably be able to see him maybe 100, 200 feet away. But it's clear that he would not have seen you.
I'll probably watch him for a little bit.
I'm gonna tug on Zerf's sleeve.
I'll look down to her.
Let's go get Coral and take him for a walk. Take
yeah.
it for a walk.
Yes, let's do that.
The displacer beast.
Ah, gotcha.
I named it Coral after the Final Fantasy beasts.
Oh,
Coral.
You're right. It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
It's
URL. So.
Coral. Yeah, that's rough.
It's pronounced coral, but it's spelled nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Coriel.
There you go, Dova.
But yeah, Dove, I can't believe you can't remember all of our animals and their names.
Various pets and their weird spelling and pronunciation. Yeah, I'm sorry.
There you go, Dova. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, basically, I'm just letting Dusty get on with it.
All right. Dusty, over the period of about 20 minutes, you scream yourself hoarse. And as your breath finally sort of gives out, and you find yourself kind of stumbling down, kind of crouching down, and leaning against the tree a little bit. You feel a little bit better. But there's still that feeling inside that this didn't really solve anything. What you doing in Sharn, Sinel?
Apparently playing elevator music.
Dude, if this elevator music is
Figures
like
the second I
great
step
elevator music.
away to do a little bit of packing while you're dealing with everybody else, then you call on me.
I mean, we could say that you're off doing some various shopping, and you could probably buy anything in the handbook.
I was looking for an interesting new bow.
Interesting what?
New bow?
Okay.
Longbow?
Suddenly, Yark's words echo in your mind. Laser gun for DeSoda.
Actually, that's a great idea as well.
We
Some
actually,
form
I think,
of
I feel
ranged
like,
option for DeSoda as well.
I feel like we were discussing this at some point.
Oh my god.
Oh, my dog is right.
No, not
I mean,
my
you
dog.
could-
Oh my god.
You could certainly... Realistically, you could certainly attach a crossbow or something to DeSoda. However, DeSoda, by nature, is not very good at ranged weapons, just by pure evolution. So
I'm
him
more
actually being
looking
able
for
to...
some manner of like a magical something or other, maybe that I stick in his mouth so he can shoot out fire bolts or something.
Oh, what if you give him blink dog power so he can teleport to his enemy instead of having to use range attacks?
Well, part of why I want him to have a ranged attack is I don't want him to get killed.
Maybe he gets like a fire bark or something like that.
I'm gonna have to think more on that.
I know way back at the beginning of the game I was talking with you about that.
Yeah, but
But-
especially now in the later game, it feels like every time DeSoda tries to do any kind of combat, he just dies.
Yeah.
Well, that's the payoff for Beast Companion. Like, it's
Yeah.
so ridiculously overpowered in the early game, and then it mellows
it's-
out.
Absolutely useless later game.
I'm not so sure it's ridiculously overpowered in
Hey,
early game.
you are effectively adding another party member that the DM will not account for in their challenge when they select a monster's challenge rank. Because the thing is practically another party member, especially when its stat lines and attack beats most party members at that point in the game.
Either way, that's gonna be something I'm gonna think about. Are you looking for anything else in specific?
Just the bow and a bow for myself and some sort of ranged attack option for DeSoda. I'd also be willing to consider a defense upgrade for DeSoda.
Okay.
That would probably be better. Why not get like something that can cast like mage armor or something on him? Because he's not technically wearing any armor.
He is wearing armor.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You got him trained for that.
Shield of Faith, plus 2 AC.
Something
Or
that I'm not going to have
shield
to remember.
cantrip. Or not cantrip.
Preferably something
Dova,
permanent
did I
that I
just hear
won't
you say
have to
shield
remember.
cantrip?
Not cantrip, alright?
Because if so, please.
No.
It's a first level spell.
Mm-hmm.
But
For
like
something-
a anklet of protection type thing, you know, not a ring, but something that I could put on him.
Well,
Since it's a
protection generally
companion-
comes in cloaks at the moment. You can still put a cloak on a dog, I think. It just need to be shortened.
Mhm.
I think a bandana will look stylish as heck.
Ooh, yeah.
Scarf of protection.
Okay. Hmm. His AC is already 21.
Is it really?
Yep.
Then it needs some kind of HP buff.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of HP and armor. It's
Why is he
just
dying so
What's
much?
I don't. I mean,
He's officially died more often than any of our other party members.
well, I
Has
think
he?
I think Dova
I'm
is
pretty
more.
sure I hold that record. Thank you very much.
I don't think so.
DeSoto's died at least twice and then gone down more.
I know I've had to put him down like twice because he keeps getting possessed.
I've died twice and gone down 6 more times,
Hey,
and
how many
that was
times
the
you-
that was the Sigma fight alone.
How many times have you been possessed or become undead? Because DeSoto definitely holds that record.
But like, he has more AC than Dusty. I'd like to point out. And Dusty has been trying to max out his AC to prove a point.
Maybe DeSoto's just been really unlucky then.
I think it's honestly more that Dova doesn't mind killing DeSoto because he's not an actual party member, or he's not a player
He's the
character.
he's the first on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You got me there.
He's even killed Gar once, but like I can just kind of bring him back with a mending cantrip.
I technically can just bring DeSoto back anytime, but you know, the last time I tried that, he pulled him away and had me have to try and convince a tribunal that I was able to safely keep him and all this other nonsense.
There's an idea. Suicidal dog bomb.
No!
Just attach an oil barrel to him and send him into the enemy.
No!
Since he is technically a magical construct, technically, he would not be able to attune to magical items.
I do like to point out that in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, one
DeSoto?
of Tien's super powerful, strong special moves is having Chaozu self-destruct on the enemy.
Yeah, that's been pretty much in every DBZ Budokai game as well.
Mhm.
Which I think is awful, but like hilarious, but it's still a thing.
DeSoto is an animal, it's just a magical bond between us. Otherwise,
Also,
he is still
Spider-Man.
considered an animal.
All right.
Also,
But I have been able to increase his intelligence, so you know he doesn't have the basic intelligence that an animal does.
Get him a headband of intellect.
Then he can do our taxes.
It will set his intellect to 19. It's hilarious.
I believe I tried that before, and Dova did not want to deal with that.
What if he gets so smart he develops psionic powers?
It's up to you,
Dova.
But like generally, if generally other people let people put headbands of intellect on their pets for stupid reasons. So like you know, it's entirely up to you. There's nothing in the rules that's against it, but
as far as the attack, the ranged attack goes, I know that most people outside of for people that want a min-max type situation, they usually go with an ape because they've got a built-in ranged attack. But I didn't want to do that for flavoring reasons, so I want to try and find a magical alternative.
Speaking of smart animals, and you remember that one episode of Critical Role, or several instances, I think, where like Trinket the bear was able to talk, and like for whatever reason, Matt Mercer made his voice incredibly sexy for no reason, and it was upsetting to several characters.
I think I remember that.
I remember the story of Sir Barrington, who was literally just a bear with an outrageous disguise check and a headband of intellect. Managed to fool everybody into thinking that he was actually a person. And then when he was sitting at a like the king's banquet, stuff like that, one of the guests like passes a really good perception check and sees through the disguise. It was like, hold on,
Okay, yeah, I get
hold
you.
on, that's a bear. That's a bear. And then all of the guards like usher the person out, and they apologize to Sir Barrington.
And he goes,
Yeah.
"Rawr."
Sir Barrington gets a butler. if
Yeah,
I
he gets a
remember.
butler to speak for him.
All right, so
Besides, I love the idea of DeSoto just, shooting out firebolts.
I don't.
I do.
He becomes a Digimon.
No, not enough technology for that.
I don't know. We are an Eberron.
if you would
Fair.
want to outfit him with any magical items, it would use your attunement slots.
That's okay with me. I don't think I've got anything attuned to me. No, wait, I've got one thing. My Lucky Stone thing. Whatever it was actually called, I don't remember.
I think it's just called Luckstone, or Stone of Luck.
As well as the Amulet of Proof against Detection and Location.
That one was a
Still
gift.
wearing that band of loyalty, my man.
Oh no.
No, I just realized I never actually removed it. Because we sold all of those.
We turned them into, like, metal.
Oh right.
Or we melted them down or something. Because I know that DeSoto had it too. I would have taken off that amulet because, I don't need that anymore. In fact, I'll probably try and sell it since I'm in town now.
Alright.
Wait, this is an actual item?
Actually,
I
with
thought
the
it was just a
with the-
renamed, I thought it was just a renamed thing, but no, apparently it's an actual item.
what, the Luckstone?
No, the Amulet of Proof against Detection and Location.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an actual thing. I think for flavor reasons, you might be better off selling that to like an individual as opposed to just going to a shop, because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't want to be discovered, and they wouldn't just go to a shop and buy one of these things.
Yes, but
Probably pay a
Yark,
big bucks for it.
that also means that I would have to discover them to sell it to them.
We will come back to that. As Yerk.
Yes, I'm getting ready for the gourmet.
Are you getting ready for it as we speak?
Yes.
All right.
If you're
Give
lucky
me-
enough, some demon overlord will come through and just eat your guests.
I want you
I
to give
have
me
an idea.
what is your idea for the banquet?
So, we don't have a ton of prep time. I mean, a week is still a lot, but I still got to figure out a menu too. But I was thinking of doing a live cooking thing, like, Japanese steakhouse style.
Mm-hmm.
Did we ever figure out how many people are coming?
About the important people, about 20 or so, but overall their guests will include about 150 to 200.
Okay, that won't be too hard. So, the live cooking will mostly be done for the important guests, I guess. It's going to be more of a buffet kind of thing rather than a course meal. Like, I'll be cooking, I'll be putting on a show, and I'll be serving up several dishes like at a time for people to just take whatever they want.
Okay.
I've been trying to think of something different.
Your
that would
you
impress.
finally get your hands on the guest list. As you're doing the planning, you've kind of definitely set aside. All right, we're gonna do the live banquet thing. There's gonna be lots of courses. Okay, is there anybody? And your heart drops because you see a name on there which is quite scary to you. The voice of cuisine. You know Ratatouille. You know the critic.
Yeah, that guy with the name.
This guy, it's that guy on steroids.
Mm.
He is a quite diminutive elven man. But rumor has it he's about 500 years old. And he has possibly the sharpest, most sensitive tongue in the entire continent.
Has
He
anyone
was
seen?
alive to dine in Kyrie. He's dined with hold on. With the king himself, king of the United Corvair, of course, King Galifar. And he runs the most influential and most powerful publishing magnate, specifically sort of catering to the foodie culture. With a simple stroke of his pen, he can basically just throw you into hell along with your cooking career. And he is on the guest list. Just sort of inserted in there. Pierre Lefour.
Oh God, he's French.
I could kill him for you. I am a bounty hunter, so, you know.
He's unkillable. He's actually a lich.
Oh, Lich!
That's just me testing. That's just me thinking out loud.
He's a Draco Lich polymorphed into an elf.
No, this is where Dova's other card in play just accidentally kills the rest of the guest list.
However, if he gives you a lukewarm to good review, that would guarantee you a spot at any kitchen in the entire
My
continent.
hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let
And if
us
he gives you a
adventure.
great review, you've made it. You're a celebrity.
Well, I'm gonna do this my way then. With the live cooking thing.
I will have to deny that influence since I already gave him a name.
That's fine. I figured.
What'd you say, Eric?
I said I will go ahead with the live cooking thing because that's how Yark would do it. I feel like he's an artificer. He's got magic, and you know, a show kind of just makes the food taste better.
Mhm.
Like, have you ever been to medieval something?
True. The medieval knights.
Medieval times.
You get a full chicken on a plate, some corn.
Like, it's not the best, but you don't notice that it's not the best because you're paying attention to the show.
I want a real medieval times where they serve it to you on a trencher. No silverware.
And a grog.
You get some hydromal. And you don't eat the plate. Because that's what the under table dogs do.
My hamster is getting antsy.
So
If we be adventurers, let
if you
us
know this guy,
adventure.
you know that he likes one thing especially. Seafood.
Interesting.
And as you're racking your mind, you can think of one thing that would, if it's done well, probably skyrocket you to the top. And that is a... Give me a moment to find it. A Kresk blue abalone. Prepared live and served raw. You think that would do it?
I was honestly considering seafood already.
Well, there you go.
I mean, just think. I have cooked crab every single possible way there is to cook crab. I have invented several ways to cook crab. I have the experience with crab meat.
What your specialty?
At this point, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a cooking check. This is for you to set up an initial plan. Very nice, very nice. Writing stuff down, sorry.
Of course, there'll be a bunch of other entrees that will just be prepared in the kitchen for everyone, but the live cooking will be the main event.
Mhm. This is like you're taking a few hours to just write down. All right, first course. This, maybe this. Get some plans down. Ingredients to order. People who you'll need. Prep work to be done. As you figure, your chef brain is pretty hardwired to this. You can get all the other sides, the smaller mains, you can probably delegate that to someone else and just check up on just as the deadline comes up. But that main one you want to do yourself. Chef compulsion, really.
Yeah.
And now you got to catch one because you know for a fact that you cannot buy one.
What's it called?
A Kresk blue abalone. Notably found in only one place on the continent. Where did my map go?
Nowhere. The map is gone.
Where is the map?
This is where we just go. This is where we just go Lake Galifar, and we say, "Hey, we're right by there."
Close actually. It's actually in a small tributary of the Bry River. However, it does butt up right next to the Mournlands. It's actually slightly north of Vatharond. And at this time of year, I don't know, the river might be frozen over. That might make things
Cool.
interesting.
Oh, you said Lake Spire? Kyer?
Lake Bry. It's it's the Bry River. You know, right south of Arithon Keep.
You know where, like, the river that leads into the lake that we literally had an underwater castle in, and is near to where our house originally was.
Mm-hmm.
God, we couldn't have picked a better location, could we?
I know.
We don't live there anymore.
That's true. You live in the ether.
Nowhere and
Isn't-
everywhere.
The lake, right? Not actually against the Mournlands.
It's right in that like little river bend.
Oh,
That's where you can reliably find one.
they're right next to the keep then.
Yeah. Otherwise,
There is a teleportation circle there, the old one.
Mm-hmm. Right
Yep.
in Hatheril. So you could probably go there and sprint your way there. Hopefully make it back in time to supervise the rest of the banquet. But you basically take the giant list that you've written. Which is it your is it the size of like your paper, or is it like an actual big paper?
It's a normal sized piece of paper with my sized handwriting.
Gotcha. It's just tiny. So you hand it off to Okra as it is 5 o'clock in time to meet back up with Inun.
What you could do is you could teleport to Hatheril. You could take the lightning rail up to Vatherond and then walk up that way.
Or we can teleport right to the teleport circle. Is it in
The-
Thornwood?
No, the teleport circle is in Hatheril.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you see that big 5-inch circle there.
that's where it is.
That's where the house was, and the circle is towards the green haunt.
Okay. Sounds like a great idea then.
I do map.
All right.
Alright, meet up at noon and say, alright, at noon, we're going on a train ride.
Well, right now?
We gotta catch a sea slug. As I start walking to the train station.
All right. Wait, we were gonna wait. No. Yark, we're teleporting back.
I
Where's-
walk toward
wait.
the teleportations. I turn around and start walking toward the teleportation circle.
Okay, where's this thing that we need to do?
Dova, I explained to him all the things that I need to do.
All right. All right. Well, since it's near the Mournlands, might be best just to have everyone.
Okay.
Who knows? He's going to, since Sinel would also be aware of the meetup time, I assume he'd be around, and thus would be easily teleported back, along with you all, back to the manor.
Here's an idea. While you're catching a sea slug, we could go in and look for Blue.
Sorry, my bad. Sea snails.
Fine, sea snail.
Oh, speaking of which, Zerf remembers he has a spell that he can do.
Is it divination or scrying?
It's scrying.
Yes.
Okay,
You
I'm
got-
gonna hand you Blue's arm. Use it like a compass.
He goes, you would think I would remember something like this. It's been very busy last week.
All
To be
right.
fair, we were fighting a giant worm.
Could you paste the details of that in the tower or in the chat?
Yep.
Thank you, because I believe that there is a saving throw.
Yeah, there's like a whole table.
All right, so save modifier is at -5, -10, so -15. All right. Okay. So we're going to cast Scrying. You sit down on the floor. The severed arm of Blue, set out in front of you, and you just kind of pull into yourself and try to see where that arm links you. Try to peer through. Sorry.
I just have an important question. What's the focus that you're going to use, sir?
What are you looking through?
Sword.
It has to be a crystal ball, a silver mirror, or a font filled with holy water.
Could it be his crystal eye?
I'd say you could look into the pond. Since
Yeah,
that,
he'll
at
use
some
your
point,
crystal
that
eye.
would probably be holy water.
And then
Yes, it
another
would be.
trap triggers as he's staring into it.
I see a roll.
As you sit down, you realize, hey, that's a caltrop right over there. I almost sat on that.
He swipes it away with his tail. Takes a mental note.
All right, here comes a real nice wisdom save at a -15.
Are you going to share with the class?
No. What's your spell save DC?
No.
That's not a good question. My DC is. I don't know. 16.
All right. The water in front of you, constantly a little bit wavy from a faint wind passing through the center atrium of the villa, starts to slowly smooth out, and you see through it as if it was. Can you get sound through this? See and hear through the sensor as if you were there. Okay. Your eyes focus on the almost getting pulled through the surface in the water until you are immersed. Everything feels slightly dulled and very, very far away and almost kind of out of focus. But eventually it kind of finds its focus. And you're in a plush, almost stuffy room. It's a very well furnished den, or perhaps a study. You can hear the steady ticking of a large grandfather clock against one wall. There's a large bookcases kind of adorning each wall, and sitting in the chair, fully repaired, and looking much more in one piece and less kind of hacked together, is in fact Blue. Which arm was it that you grabbed?
It was his right arm.
However, his right arm has not been replaced.
Hmm.
You can see under a cloak, where the shoulder pauldron ought to be, is nothing. Similar to someone else you know fairly well.
Hmm. Is there any other telltale signs of like I can get like a location or like a map? Like, you know, is there like a table with like books or something spread out?
No map. And it just kind of, it continues like that for a while. It was him just kind of sitting there. And you notice out towards the window, you can actually see clouds moving quite faster than they ought to be from the ground. If you had to guess, this is probably on the airship itself.
Hmm.
You don't see anyone else in the room, though. After about 7-8 minutes, slowly kind of stands up and walks with a very confident gait towards the large bay window, and you can see very kind of blurred out of it. Down far below is the ravaged remnants of a large city. Give me a history check.
History.
can't remember what city that is. But you think you've been there. And you can see through the fog a colossal figure. That same sort of obscene centaur. Stomping its way through the town. Each step taking 20 seconds at least.
The meat golem.
Yep.
He narrows his eyes.
As with a silent sort of roar, it grabs the jagged glaive almost out of thin air and slams it down, flattening, slicing through almost 2 entire city blocks.
Well, that seems dangerous.
And it's about at that point that the spell would start to fade.
He's just gonna mutter blue and just kind of shake his head as he comes out of it.
For a moment, Rosalin's bland senses were tingling.
Was that his save?
What was his save?
With the -15?
Before the -15.
Before the -15, okay. And Zer's just gonna go, well, good news and bad news.
At this point, everyone would be kind of filtering back into the house.
I found Blue.
But
he seems to be in an airship flying over a destroyed city that's being ravaged by the meat golem. Probably following it. It's not bodes well on either end. On the better news is he's fully intact and repaired, except for he's kind of a little light in the arm department. So, is it a safe to assumption that Jer could make the logical leap that he's probably on the that undead airship?
Yeah. The decor looked very similar. Also, it was flying, and it was very well decorated and almost silent.
It had Sigma's taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are relayed in some way or another.
Yes. Who wants to go hunting a meat golem?
At this time, Cobalt would return, looking a little bit frantic behind his eyes.
I was gonna leave out loud.
I say out loud, guys, we're going to the Mournlands. Or, like, near it.
Shudders. Visible shudders.
Okay, not the actual Mournlands, just nearby.
Oh, thank the Holy Fury. Well, good news, and then he'll relay what he just told the rest of the group to Yark.
Quote unquote good news.
Yeah. So, kind of know where he's at.
So,
go ahead.
I mean, all we need to do is like nice. All we need to do is look for any destroyed cities recently. Yeah, like there aren't like 50 of them in the entire Kavere. Shut up.
Yes, it doesn't.
Yes, that was Rosalin talking to herself.
It's just like, yeah, I didn't really get a good view. It's actively being destroyed, so that may narrow it down, but we will have to find a hub of current information.
Did you see any flags?
Did I see any flags?
Not from that height.
Too high up. Could I don't know what to roll on this, but is there a roll I could do to decide, like, if it was east or west, like, based on the sun or, like, how the terrain is?
Just give me a general intelligence roll.
He's very well traveled.
With the position of the sun, and the fact that it was probably near dusk at the point that you actually did the divinate or the scrying, you reckon that it was heading east.
Alright.
Gonna roll out one of Inun's vaunted maps that we keep in the library.
Inun has just many maps.
Yeah.
Maps of maps.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that they would head east, right? Because theoretically, they can't lift that entire thing by an airship.
No. So, since we're heading closer to the Mournlands, which is east from our location, do two birds and one really big stone.
So basically, east from where we were, it's either... I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's heading to one of these cities on the border of Thrain.
Where would we know where the current revolution battle for the chair 2.0 is taking place?
Electric Boogaloo.
On the border with Brelin, or at the border between Brelin and Thrain, as far as you guys are aware.
Okay.
Yeah, it was literally happening just north of us, remember? Because we went into Black Pit just about the time that they started marching.
Mm-hmm.
And those little green pins are where we're at currently?
Yep.
Yeah, that's where... Uh-oh. I lost connection to the fantasy ground. So, yeah. That's where you guys were. That's where Misty Mound is.
Alright. I say we take a trip.
Oh, I think I'm back.
So how are we doing this? Are we walking it, or are we?
Well, we could take the train, but we tend to have bad luck with that.
Yeah, it's hard to catch a train in the middle of a forest, though.
We can probably walk to Silberin, and then the dark lines are the train ones, so we can take the train connection down.
No, the train tracks are the
lines.
orange.
Yep.
Are the orange lines?
Orange lines? Oh. Ew. We are nowhere near. Okay, who wants to swim across the lake?
I believe the dotted lines are actually country borders.
The as Inun pipes up, you realize that we just teleport wherever, kind of where we like.
I always forget that.
And yeah, I think that would make things a lot easier.
You do remember that, like, we've only teleported successfully twice without something bad happening.
Look, it's what happened before. That's not important. I've fixed that. Should not be an issue any longer at all.
Rosalind's gonna put her hands on her hips and start tapping her foot.
Look, we're not going near. Okay, we're going near, but we're not going past the Mornlands this time. Okay, it's gonna be fine.
I'm packing a coat this time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a bit cold last time. I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah, and he's gonna ready the spell, create food and water, because he didn't have that last time.
So, before we end, I would like to know, where are you guys planning on going? Because I think the nearest teleportation circle to the location where you'd find a Krek, or a Kretch Blue Abalon, or would be, I think there's one in Vatheron, or Stiralasker.
I think the best thing to do would be to walk to Silberan and then, because it seems to be a city, and teleport city to city.
Mm-hmm.
Teleportation circle can be cast from anywhere. You just can't go anywhere.
Mm.
Yeah, but at the same time, we kind of need information.
Yeah. Where is for Yark's tuna thing? Where does he have to go?
Right on the western border of the Mornlands, and right below Arthon Keep. There's a actual.
Basically, the river just below the Thornwood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gotcha. So we can teleport to
Stiralasker.
yeah.
The nearest one that Inun has would be in Hatheril, the old abandoned one that you cleared out.
Let's see. Yeah, because if we can get the train, we can take the train to Althorn Keep, and there's that river right there that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we probably can't take it to the keep since it goes around the forest. We'd have to take it to Vatheron and then walk north.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll teleport to Stiralasker, get some information there. Since that's closest to the battle. And then we could take the train up to Thorfrond or Valthron, and then take some day camping hikes.
Which was my original plan, but then
Yeah.
I amended it slightly because I realized that the wherever blue is possibly directly east of where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Arlok, Zerk will say this in character, Arlok on the other side of the Mornlands.
Maybe. I guess there's an easy way to put this to rest, actually. Hey,
Just
Sinnoh.
teleport to Hatheril.
Well, we'll teleport to Hatheril in a minute.
Yes.
Could you go outside and look for giant centaur tracks?
Sure. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to tell the difference between centaur and horse, but yeah, I can go look.
I mean, the footprints are probably about, like, a few feet across, so I'm pretty sure you'll tell the difference.
How
No,
big
they're
did that
the
centaur
exact
meat
same.
golem look?
They're exactly the same.
Real big.
We're looking for tracks that are like 20 feet wide.
What we're actually looking for is the giant meat golem to see if it actually walks out of this place.
So it is time for me to go, because I got work tomorrow. So I think
Yep.
this is a good time as ever to wrap up for the night.
Alright.
I rolled really good on this. That better not be forgotten.
It will not be. All right.
I will.
Okay.
You know what? I will put it in my notes.
There you go.
I actually got a good roll on something I'm supposed to be great at.
And nothing of value was lost.
Hey, you know, I will. It will count for next session.
Hey, Dova,
Yeah.
you're great.
Well, we.
You're great
How
DM.
dare you?
I always have fun
Yeah,
when you DM.
Cobalt, we're trying to make sure that he continues to do a good job by trying to earn our approval. Now he's just going to give up trying to earn that because he already has. So
Are you kidding?
thanks,
I'm a
thanks,
kobold.
Cobalt.
I hand out
Thanks,
approval like
Cobalt.
flyers.
Thanks. You validated him, and now he's gonna do terrible.
Want to do even better.
Alright, I have Sinnoh rolled, survival roll is 26 to track meat horse.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I'm a kobold. I hand out approval like candy on Halloween.
See, this is why I turn most kobolds into sandwiches.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I will be back in just a few minutes with some Deep Rock Galactic. So do stick around here in the chat. Thank you. Who is messing around with their mic?
Me.
Stop that.
Sorry.
Do check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. Right now, your support is meaning more than it has before because I am moving and I need all the support that I can get. So please do continue supporting the channel. Right now especially, you are the reason I'm gonna keep streaming and keep going here. So thank you so much, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu for now.
I bid you guys fondue.
Hell yeah. Fondue's good. Is there gonna be fondue at the banquet?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah, Power Stone put in an influence earlier, but I think it'll pop up later.
Yep. Accepted.
Okay.
Forgot to
Anyways,
say that.
see you all in a few minutes. Bye-bye!
Ugh.